My name is Ebony Canion, and I go by Survivor Story. I was actually run over by a car, and I was drugged almost 200 feet with my body folded up under the car. So many times I thought about giving up after that tragic night. Being dragged for over a quarter mile and sustaining life-threatening injuries has changed my life forever. But now I've got to use what was meant for evil for good. I can't give up. I have to empower others who might want to give up. I absolutely have to tell my story of how I made it through. I have to talk about all the other disappointments and tragic moments I've gotten through in my life. When I think about all that I've made it through, I get chills. Imagine being raped by someone you trust. Imagine becoming a young widow with 2 kids after 1 year of marriage. The list goes on, and my will to live does too. My scars tell a story that must be heard. Not being able to walk was kind of like, what now, and this is too hard, and just starting all over. It was a time that I felt like giving up. I felt as if, what do I have to push for? I felt as if it was going to be too hard for me, and I was afraid of the challenge. And then even after I got out of the hospital, I realized how much of a challenge that it really was going to be. So I began to want to back away from recovery. Just having to have another grown woman change you and, wash you up and things of that nature, it was embarrassing, and it really took my self-esteem down. I remember it seemed like every time I was going to therapy, I would get down, because every time I was wearing the Depend, and every time I would go to therapy, I would have an accident. So I would miss half of therapy going back upstairs to get changed, as if I was a baby. So that took a whole lot out of me. The ability to breathe fresh air is something that I took for granted. The ability to eat is something that I took for granted. To wash yourself is something that I took for granted. The ability to wiggle your toes is something that's so small, but to this day I wish that something that hurts so bad is stubbing your toe or hitting your toe on something. I wish I can hit my toe on something and feel that pain, So that's something that's taken for granted, something that we complain about all the time. When I first got out of hospital, that my lights were off, my gas was off, my cable was off, and my cell phone all at the same time. It was real hard on myself and my children, but we pulled together as a family, and I kind of explained to them, the struggle. This is what's going on, but I promise you, God is watching over us, and it's going to get better. I'm telling you, He's not going to keep it this way for too much longer. I always say that God has put some type of immune cloak over me because I've been through so much. I know that in the midst of all this chaos, God has been right beside me. He's had His hand on me the whole time. Forgiveness is a huge thing, and it's a gift to be able to do it. The ability to forgive is something. It's a great thing. It's an awesome thing. But sometimes you can be taken advantage of because you forgive so quick. But I feel it within myself that it's something that I have to do. I actually have forgiveness tattooed across my wrist. I forgive the man who raped me. I forgive the man who molested me. And I also even forgive the woman who ran me over that night on purpose.